Hello, Shirley. So I'm just making you a quick video. It's easier to share a video than try to explain it all in words. Anyway, so first of all, in your settings, your program preferences, make sure you have convert to outlines on open checked. Okay, so when we open your design, it will convert it to outlines so it can be edited easily. So I've saved your design on my desktop here. I find where I've got it, and here you can see that convert to outlines automatically is checked. So every time I open a design, that's the default now. So let me find your design. There we go. And open. So I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say in your email, but this is what I think you're trying to do. So here's the design, and if you select it, you can see if you open it here that it is running stitches. If you don't have the convert to outlines checked, it will just be stitches and it can't be edited. So let's select that run stitch. And the first thing I would do is I notice that the stitch length is 1.9 millimeters. That's a teeny tiny stitch. So what I would do, if I'm quilting something, I usually like a little bit longer stitch, maybe 3 to 3.5 millimeters. And you can see that we start with, for some reason, 1424. So I'm not sure when you're, well, you know what, let me try something here. Let me do a slow redraw and make sure you mentioned that it was stitching twice. So let's watch it stitch through to make sure it's not stitching twice. Good, it's not. Okay, so for some reason, I don't know where you got the 700 and something stitches you said it had. I see 1424 stitches, so not sure. Anyway, but what I would do is I would select it and change my stitch length, like I said, to maybe 3.5, and click apply. So now we're down to 895 stitches. So what I think you're trying to do is put another one of these together so it stitches like a square. So this is what I would do. Let's see if you use your shape tool. Here you can see that here's our start and here's our stop. Okay, now those can always be moved. So what I would do, instead of selecting another one and rotating it, I would just copy this, and you can do that here, or you can do a Control-C on your keyboard. And this is just a little highlighter I have on my mouse. So Control-V, that pastes, and you can see two of them. And then I would just flip it vertical and slide it down somewhere around here-ish. Double click my magnifying glass to bring it into full view. And I want to make sure that this is lined up with this, so I would select them both. Use your control key to get both. And then use your align tool and use the horizontal center align to make sure they're horizontally lined up. And here you were asking me about how I could move with my arrow keys. So you've got to make sure your select tool is on, and you need to select with the hand active, click in the area of the design you want to move with your arrow keys. Then you touch Control on your keyboard and use your arrow keys. So there we go, somewhere and about there. Okay, so that process once again is make sure you have your select tool on, and then click in your design area with the hand. Make sure the hand is active. Okay, and then touch Control on your keyboard and use your arrow keys. Okay, now lastly, let me zoom back out by double clicking the magnifying glass. Once again, if we select this first one, we remember that it started here and finished here, so let's select the second one. And we can see that it's starts and stops there again. But we want to change that around. Okay, so I would take using my shape tool, grab that to start and move it somewhere over here. You don't want to get it on top of the stop because then you lose it. And then just drag the stop back over to this side and drag this start up to the top there. Okay, so now when it stitches, let's watch it stitch out. We have 1,793 stitches. And let's watch it stitch out. So, and like I said, I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so there we go. So it starts and stops and stitches nicely. All right, so the only other thing I can think that you're trying to do is maybe start here and stop, let's say here, to do the next stitch out. Let me try something here. Let me select the run, select them both, and let's right click, let's try preserving them as stitches, then right click, let's see, let's see what that does. Now I've still got two pieces, so let's undo that. Run, let's select them both and combine them. And you right click and you combine them. But what I think happens when this is done is for some reason is where I get my double stitching. Let's watch it stitch for a second here. Yeah, that's where the double stitching happens. And to be honest, I don't know why, but what you can do is, let's zoom in onto the last stitch. And let's go take our speed down of our slow redraw and back it up. Let's have it come maybe somewhere back in here. Let's see, let's watch that. Go, where is our stitch? So let's watch it stitch. Let me double click the magnifying glass. Oh, we're back to the beginning. So let's slide that up here. What we want to do is trying to capture when it gets right there. So let's zoom in on that. And bring this up. And here we go, kind of watching. Whoopsie, we went a little too far. And we can go back a stitch at a time here. And we're almost there. Yay, and the crowd cheers. Okay, so what we can do now that we've got that last stitch, put a stop in our design. Okay, and let's see now. Let's delete this second one. Let's watch it stitch out again. All right, so let's see. So far, so good. Yay. Okay, so once again, I'm not quite sure why it double stitched that one area. But what you can do is slide the slow redraw up to where that stitch was, put a stop, and that will break up the remaining stitches that you can delete them. Now here, if select the entire thing, oh, and I'm not quite sure how we got back to stitches, but we can right click and convert to outlines. Okay, so now I have my outlines again. We can change the start and stop of this. Let's see. Well, there's the start and the stop. So let's move maybe the start up to here. And maybe the stop down to here. And there we go. Let's see how this stitches. And it might not work perfectly. Yeah, because see, it's going to start double stitching is what it's going to do. Because the path it has to follow has to go twice to get back. And see, it's going to have to go twice to get back to that corner. So let's undo that. Let's see again. We logically think this through. Let's try maybe moving the stop to over here. And watch it stitch now. Yeah, see, it has to double stitch because it's starting in a illogical place. Yeah, and it's going to have to double stitch to get back to that corner, see, to stop down there. All right, so let's undo that. Use our shape tool again. And yeah, I'm not sure what you'd have to do to mess with this. And bring this back to where it was. Bring this back to where, no, was it here? I'm not sure. Oh no, it was over here, wasn't it? Somewhere in there. And let's make sure now it will stitch nicely. Yeah, so it's a matter of logic and how it's going to stitch through. Yeah, see, now it's going to want to go back. Yeah, because we put the stop over there. So anyway, play with your starts and stops, but this is the shape tool that you can use. And let's just back it up. And play with that. So you want to start somewhere in here and stop somewhere here. That's the logical place that it wants to go. So anyway, like I say, play with that. Any other questions, let me know. But I think that's what you're trying to accomplish. Maybe start and stops here. And I'm not quite sure how you can get it into the corners without it having to repeat. So anyway, thanks for watching and let me know what else you need. Bye-bye.